You done yelling?
Are you done yelling? Acting like a big shot?
We're all set here. You can go inside.
No, you go on.
Remember the video I did where the church pastor called a cop a tyrant and got chased, tased, and arrested inside his church?
You're not going to tell me what to do. You can go inside. You're about to be arrested for disturbing the peace.
You here, tyrant. Let's get him. Look at him. Look at him.
I didn't know it at the time, but the right people apparently saw that video. Just a few days after I uploaded that video to YouTube, the DOJ opened an investigation into that department.
The Department of Justice revealed its findings of a 2-year investigation into Worcester police.
And guess what incident got almost a full-page color photo in the DOJ report?
In this photo, they say an officer tased a 55-year-old man inside of a church in retaliation for criticizing police.
But once again, the cops have lawyered up and are pushing back.
But an outside lawyer hired to represent the police department and city slammed the report, calling it an, quote, unfair, inaccurate, and biased report which unfairly smears the entire Worcester police force by claiming there is a pattern or practice by the WPD to engage in excessive use of force and sexual harassment of prostitutes.
So who's right here? The out-of-control cops in Massachusetts or the DOJ? Let's take another look at this epic body cam footage so that you can form your own opinion. Fighting for justice often means that I'm on the move, and recently I had a bit of an issue while traveling. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and my phone's data roaming is off the charts expensive. There's no Wi-Fi in sight when I needed to make an urgent call about a case. After that, I started using Saley, a new eSIM service by Nord Security, and on the next trip, I decided to give Saley a try, and I'm glad that I did. Setup was a breeze. No more fumbling with tiny SIM cards or worrying about losing them. I just downloaded the app, chose a plan that fit my travel needs, and then within minutes, I was connected. With Saley, you get instant connectivity, no waiting for a SIM card to arrive, no standing in line at the airport. You just scan a QR code and boom, you're online. And the best part, you get to keep your own number for regular calls while using Saley for data. I love Saley because it's cost effective, it gives you high-speed data, and you can use it from anywhere in the world. Plus, it's perfect for those of us who value security and privacy thanks to Nord Security's expertise. Now, just for my audience, I got you a special deal, an exclusive 15% discount on Saley eSIM data plans. So do this, download the Saley app, use code CIVIL at checkout. And actually the best way is to just scan this code right now on the screen and get started right away. So next time you're traveling or you just need a hassle-free internet solution, give Saley a try. Don't get caught like I did. Stay prepared, stay connected, and keep fighting the good fight. Safe travels, and now let's get back to this video.
Who are you? Who are you? Why don't you go inside? You have nothing involved. Go
Oh,
inside.
that's my daughter. So
Okay.
yeah, I do have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You know,
maybe you don't have to.
this has nothing to do with you.
This has to be one of my all-time favorites that I've ever covered, and this is from Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure it's like Worcester. I'm going to go with Worcester, Massachusetts. This was August 25th of 2019. Officers with the Worcester, Massachusetts Police Department arrived outside Cornerstone Baptist Church, and there they were attempting to retrieve a child after receiving a report of a custody dispute involving the granddaughter, I believe, of the church's pastor, Joseph Rizzuti Sr. So the officers arrived to retrieve the child after the father alleged to them that the mother had failed to return the child following a visit. The officers wrote in the report that churchgoers and family members kept interfering and refused orders by police and resisted arrest. But the body cam footage shows exactly what happened. The church's pastor, Joseph Rizzuti Sr., stands outside the church telling his daughter to leave again. A police sergeant walks up to him, and this interaction takes place.
This has nothing to do with you.
How's that? Pirate, don't come tell me what I don't do.
You done yelling? You done yelling?
Are you done yelling? Acting like a big shot?
We're all set here. You can go inside.
No, you go on.
You're not going to tell me what to do. You can go inside. You're about to be arrested for disturbing the peace.
Supervisor here, tyrant. You keep. Let's get him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this guy. Look at him.
Hey! What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing? Oh, you're in a
So yeah, everything was fine. This officer is walking back to his police cruiser. He's about to get in, and then Mr. Rizzuti calls him a tyrant. At that point, he turns around and begins to escalate the situation, confronts Mr. Rizzuti, who calls him a tyrant a second time.
You're not going to tell me what to do. You can go inside. You're about to be arrested for disturbing the peace.
Here, tyrant.
And just within seconds, this officer with the Worcester Police Department, or Worcester Police Department, is chasing the pastor into his church.
Let's get him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this guy. Look at him. Hey!
What are you doing? Hey! What are you doing? Oh, you're in a truck!
Therein tasing him repeatedly. Women screaming, children screaming, complete and total mayhem.
Somebody record this!
Tasing me! Oh, you tyrant Nazi! How could you do this, sir?
What is going on?
Oh,
You hurt him!
he tased me and I got my hat!
Papa!
You guys need to get back up. Get out of that space. Back up.
And they don't stop with just the pastor. They're attacking like the whole family here inside this church.
Oh, he just punched the wall! I'm gonna sit.
Sit down.
Are you?
I'm okay! Stop, Papa!
We're in the church assembly.
What's wrong with you people? These guys are tyrants.
Stay on the ground now.
Let go of me. What's wrong with you?
He's a tyrant.
I'm resisting you.
For him, you idiot.
Get on the ground.
You're psycho. Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
Get on the
You're
ground.
psycho. I need to get off my wrist. What the hell's
He's a
wrong?
tyrant, Joe.
We'll just sue him, that's all.
I don't know what I did to get
He didn't do
tased.
nothing. They said he punched
Yeah,
me in
he
the
came
face.
at me because he didn't
This
like
Spanish
it.
cop right here punched me right in the face.
I know that. Don't be touching us. What am I arrested for?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, what did I get arrested for?
Get the supervisor here now.
I can't even believe what these guys just did in this church house.
Yeah.
We need to get him up and then him. Which one do you want to get up first? They can get both. We have enough guys now. We got enough guys now.
Make sure my wife gets checked out because she's pregnant and this cop tackled her.
Which one? Take her.
Supervisor.
I want the guy that
Yeah.
tased me. 55 years old, beaten up by the Worcester police. This guy right
You have an
here.
ID on you?
No, I don't. You got one on you?
You
I'm
got
not
to see.
going to sit on the ground. I'm a grown man. I'm 55 years old. I'm going to stand here. You ain't going to believe what this guy did, not him. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're good.
This one right here. Him. I want the
I don't know who called in the end.
I'm Joe. My name's Joe. Reverend Joe Rizzuti. I don't consent you to go in my pocket. You don't care what I said.
You're under arrest. We're going to search
You
your
get
no
away
weapons,
from me.
okay?
You get away from me.
No,
This
you're
guy
under
was
arrest.
assaulted.
All right?
I'm your arrest.
Yeah, you.
Oh, am I? You get away from me. You've already assaulted me. Assaulted me, tased me. Laying in the back of my church, this guy. Imagine that. All because he was asked a simple question. Tased me, you knocked me to the ground, and this guy's pulling my pants down. No one's
They're gonna
checked
check
me
him
out.
They're waiting for him to calm down.
Basically, after this, the Rizzutis hired a badass lawyer. He took it to trial, and they got completely acquitted. And then I believe it was after that I was able to get a hold of this body cam footage, and obviously I loved it. And 2 years ago, I believe it was November 10th of 2022, I put that video on YouTube, and it was just a matter of a couple of days. Coincidentally, the U.S. Department of Justice began to investigate the Worcester Police Department.
The Department of Justice revealed its findings of a 2-year investigation into Worcester Police.
The Justice Department beginning this investigation in November of 2022.
Not just for this, because it opened a can of worms. There were all sorts of types of misconduct happening within the Worcester Police Department, according to the investigation report that ultimately came out of it, that took 2 years. That report was just released. There's all sorts of allegations, everything from this incident to, well, you'll see.
In a bombshell report today, the Department of Justice revealed its findings of a 2-year investigation into Worcester police. It found the department to be guilty of excessive force, sexual misconduct, and discrimination against women and minorities. The report also details officers having sex with prostitutes while on the job.
Allegations include using excessive force and engaging in outrageous sexual contact with women while undercover as part of official investigations. The DOJ saying excessive force by the department includes unjustified uses of tasers, police dogs, and strikes to the head. In this photo, they say an officer tased a 55-year-old man inside of a church in retaliation for criticizing police. They also say sexual misconduct includes one officer who exposed himself and directed a prostitute to touch his penis for 20 seconds before driving her to a different location to be arrested. In 2019, one officer allegedly having sex with a prostitute in a police cruiser behind a supermarket while wearing his uniform.
So they highlight the tasing of Mr. Rizzuti in the DOJ report, and I believe that that is what spurred the investigation, but they found that this was only one of many similar incidents. And this is an excerpt from the report, which I will link in full in the first pinned comment below. This is what it said. A WPD officer unreasonably used a taser to drive stun a 55-year-old man in retaliation for criticizing police. 2 officers responded to a custody dispute, and a man on the sidewalk advised people nearby not to talk with police. Though the scene was clear and no threat existed, the officer illegally ordered the man to go back inside a nearby church. After the man called the officer a tyrant and told him he was acting like a big shot, the officer threatened to arrest him for disturbing the peace. The officer followed the man inside the church and, once inside, chased and tackled him to the ground, where he laid still on his stomach with his head on his forearms. The officer demanded that he relax his arms to be cuffed, and then, without warning and in front of children and congregants, delivered a 5-second drive stun to the man's back. The man was arrested but ultimately acquitted of all charges, including disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and assault and battery on a police officer. Which, how did they even come up with some of those charges? WPD's internal investigation found no wrongdoing by the officers. This is from the DOJ report, and all of that is absolutely documented and verifiably true. However, that did not stop the attorney for these officers or for this police department trying to spin things in the news. This was the statement that he provided to the media.
And an attorney representing the city of Worcester and its police department saying in a statement in part tonight, the DOJ's Civil Rights Division has issued an unfair, inaccurate, and biased report which unfairly smears the entire Worcester police force by claiming there is a pattern or practice by the WPD to engage in excessive use of force and sexual harassment of prostitutes.
But note, he did not say that they did not use excessive force on people, and they did not sexually harass prostitutes. He just said there's not a pattern or practice of it. Well, this video speaks for itself, and as does, I think, the 40-whatever page report from the DOJ, which you can review yourself. I also recalled that there was a lawsuit that was filed by the Rizzutis, so I looked that up on Pacer, and apparently that is still pending, and it doesn't look like it's anywhere near trial. So I'll be curious to see what happens with that. But let me know in the comments what you think. Should this pastor have had to hire a lawyer and fight all those bogus charges at trial and get acquitted and file a lawsuit? Meanwhile, there's been no admission of accountability by this police department, which even according to the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice is absolutely out of control. And while their lawyer might say that the report is unfair, inaccurate, and biased, and that it unfairly smears the entire police force, I don't see any specifics. What is inaccurate? Point out one thing that's inaccurate. The report is like 40-something pages long. I'm assuming that a lot of these incidents, like the Rizzuti case, has been captured on video. But let me know what you think about the Worcester Police Department, and I'll put all the relevant contact information in the first pinned comment below, in case these are your public servants and you want to express your protected free speech to your public servants. I recently passed over 800,000 subscribers on YouTube. I truly want to thank you for that. And if you're not already subscribed, please do so. And also follow along by subscribing at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. All you do is get posts. There's nothing else that you'll get. You can also follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.